Like, subscribe and press the bell icon for more videos from PHN Learn. For more videos, download our app from the Play Store. Hello guys. So in this session we are going to learn about how to create your table but using Workbench. In previous lecture we have seen how to create table, but that was using command line. Now we know that what is the query to create your table. That was create table and then table name, right? And the mandatory constraint to create a table was what? You should be having a database first, right? And if at all you don't have a database, you cannot create a table. We have seen this, right? Because table is where table remains where? Table stores where? Table stores inside your database, right? This is the structure, right? Now, how to create this table in your Workbench, we will see this, okay? Now, this is my Workbench home page. Now, I will start with this is my local instance, right? So, just click on that and then I will write my password, okay. Now, here I have opened it. So right now we have created this employee DB, right? So now that we have created this database, in the previous lecture we have seen how to create databases, right? Now originally I have this employee DB created, so I will create my table inside this database only, right? Now here you can see this drop down arrow, right? I am just clicking over this. So this is what you have to click over here, and inside here you can see tables, views, stored procedures and functions, right? Now here in the tables you can see our table here. So just right click over table, then create table. You can see the option over create table. So just click on here. The moment you will click on there, this small window will get appeared. Okay, I will just enlarge it so that it will be more visible to you guys. Okay. So this is my table. Now it is asking here, you can see it is asking over here, that is table name, right? So now because it is an employee table, so here I will write information. The table name I will give as information, okay? Let's say information, okay? Now I have given information over here. Now this is what, this information is what? This information is nothing but your table name. Like your database needs a name, similarly your table also needs a name, right? In command line we have studied what was the query? Create table name, right? So here what is it? Table name. I am specifying a table name and my table name is what? Information, right? Now this table will have certain rows and columns, because this table will store the data, and if it will store the data, then it will have certain rows and columns. Means what? It will have certain attributes, right? So now you can see in this dialog box, in the small dialog box, you can see this is what? Column name, right? Just click on here, and if you double click it, this type of space, this type of text will be appear over there. Now here what it will take? It will take the column's name which you want to store over there. It will take the tuple names over there, right? Now here I will add ID. Let's say I want to take information of the employees as ID. I want to have their ID, I want to have their name, age and address. Okay, these are the things I want to have as my information to get stored in my information table. Okay, so now I have given this ID. Okay, now I want this ID to be a primary key. I want this ID to be a primary key. So here in this, see, first of all, here you can see the data type, right? And inside that data type there is what? Integer. Because this ID will store certain values, means 101, 00, 10, then 20 or 02. Like this it will store certain values. And these values which I have just now told you, these are what? These are nothing but your integers, right? So the data type also is there are int. The data type over there is int. We have seen these data types if you remember them. And if you don't, then you can go back and check out those videos. Okay. So int here is a data type. Now here you can see pk, nn, un, these are the initials of certain values, certain parameters over there. So right now we are only concerned with this pk. Now this pk is what? From the short form you can suggest that it is what? A primary key. In previous lecture, in that when we were creating the table using command line, we have seen what is primary key and how to initialize it. Right? Now I have to click on this checkbox, this primary key, and the moment I click on this primary key, you can see the side, that is the NN. Here also the checkbox is checked. Now here you can see I have this automatically, this NN, that is you can see I just got the cursor over there, so you can see it is what? Not null. Right? Means what? Or the moment I clicked, I checked on the primary key checked box, automatically the not null checkbox also got selected. Right? So means what? Primary key, if you remember previously also when we were giving the command of when we were creating id as your primary key, there also we have to specify what? A specified not null as well as auto incremented, because we know that primary key is what? It cannot remain null in the complete table. It may happen that you missed a certain attributes to give. It may happen that you have missed the address of certain of some employee. Okay, it may happen. At that time the table will be created, but if you are suggesting your id as primary key, it should not remain null actually in any of the case. Okay, so that's the reason it takes what? It takes automatically not null as its constraints. Okay, means primary key as well as not null. Here you can see AI. AI is what? Auto incremented. So if I want this primary key to get auto incremented, the moment I will give this, I don't want, see what happens, this why I am giving over here primary key, not null and auto incremented, because sometimes happens like I know that primary key, what is it? It cannot remain null. It must have certain values. But sometimes happens that while creating your table, while giving the attributes, while giving the values over there, you have missed certain values and you have not given any value to your ID. Then at that time it will give me an error. Right? So to avoid these cases, you can directly give this ID as auto incremented, and if at all you are giving ID as auto incremented, then what will happen? Every time when you will give the values and when you will select the complete table, when you will view the complete table, when you will update the complete table, every time your ID will get auto incremented one by one like this. Right? Here what was happening? First there was one attribute, and the moment I go on to store the values over there, it incremented automatically 2, 3, 4, 5, automatically it incremented right over here. Means what? It auto incremented over there. Right? Now here you can judge that if at all you are giving auto incremented, then by hook or crook it will not remain null. If at all you have not given any value to the ID and you have forgotten to give the value to the ID, still because I have given this ID column name, ID column attribute as a auto increment, it will take the values automatically when you will update your table. That's what I needed, and in any situation it will not remain null. Right? That's what my primary key are. Right? Means you can judge these are the attributes which are the options you want to get in your table. Right? Now this was all about your primary key, and another constraint of your primary key is what? Once I have created this ID, I have given this ID as a primary key, now I cannot give any other attribute as a primary key. Because why? Because I have told you that in one table there will be only one primary key. In one table, there cannot be more than one primary key, that's for sure, right? So that's the reason here we give primary key as an ID, and along with primary key we have to select the constraint as auto incremented as well as not null, which gets selected automatically. And auto incremented is the choice of user actually. Test all this values and all this. So these are what? These are something you will use in your database time to time. We will see all these values why we will use this, but for now we have seen what? Primary key, right? And remember, primary key can be only one in your complete table, in your complete one table. Okay, so this is how we can create a particular column using primary key constraint, right? So right now I haven't created the complete table. We will see in the next lecture how we can create the complete table in my database of employee. Okay, so this was all about your primary key and how you can specify a particular tuple, a particular attribute as your primary key, a particular tuple as your primary key. Okay, so this was all about your today's session. In the next session we will continue this session. Okay, so for now, thank you and goodbye.
For more videos, download our app from the Play Store.